Honorary President of MACOSS, Mr. Ramphel, ex-chairperson of MACOSS, I see here Mr. Grandpo and Mr. Chengen, and also the chairperson, the newly appointed chairperson of the NGO Trust Fund, Mrs. Gulel, and I'm also ex-chair of MACOSS. Mr. Yu from the Chinese Embassy, representative from member organization, executive committee members of MACOSS, the deputy chair, the vice chair, the treasurer, and of course friends and representative of NGOs. President Philippe. I'm very delighted again this year to welcome you to our 45th annual general meeting. As you know, this is an annual event. As I could see outside, other people are very excited about, especially about the election. And this is an opportunity for everyone to be here, to meet, to network. So, as we have seen in the program, as usual, for the AGM, we are going to have the official part, the business of the AGM, and of course, what everyone now looking for, the election. But as usual, as has become a tradition, during this occasion, we just name those who have left us during the year. So I would like to name some people here, and if you feel that we have missed someone, you can add the name. You know, during the year, we have lost Mr. Margot, who was the chairperson of the Capacity Building Committee, Mr. Lindsay Ada, ex-president of Group Elan, who also went along with the group to China, Mr. Geerish Bucktowonsing, who has been with MACOSS for more than 10 years as an executive committee member and also as an honorary vice chairperson of MACOSS. Someone also who has been with MACOSS, being one of the founding members, Mr. Laurent Félicité. He was also the ex-secretary of the SVI, very well-known organization, Service Volontaire International. And of course, Mr. Ramidawan was also a very active member in our committee. And this is a time also when we think of all those who are still struggling for the welfare of everyone, for democracy to prevail. Here I have in mind all those journalists, all those civil society activists who are still struggling, and all those who have lost their life, like you know in the flash flood, and all those catastrophes around the world. I would like to ask you to stand up for 1 minute to pay homage to all these people. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Subhanan Sigulam, MSK, who has been at the head of the Mauritius Council of Social Service for the year in review, that is 2012 and 2013. During his term of office, you know, in 1 year, we can't achieve so many things, but I will tell you that we have been able through his leadership, through his chairmanship, so many things have been able to be achieved, and of course there are many challenges that lie ahead. It is with pleasure to invite him to just tell us what has been happening during the year and what are his message to those who are going to take over MACOSS as chairperson. Mr. Sigulam, please.
His Excellency Mr. Radishwar Prayag, the President of the Republic of Mauritius and the patron of the Mauritius Council of Social Service, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mrs. Manda Pulel, Chairperson of the NGO Trust Fund, Honorary President of the MACOSS, Mr. Ramphel, Mr. Denis Grandpo, Chairperson of MACOSS, and members of the Managing Committee of the Council, distinguished guests, friends of the NGOs, and members of the press. I welcome you all to the 45th Annual General Meeting and elections of MACOSS and its annual elections. This year, 26 representatives are standing as candidates for the Executive Committee and 2 candidates as chairperson of the Council. To me, this annual event is crucial because it is indeed an excellent opportunity to bring together representatives of NGOs of different causes and clusters. When I took office as chairman in June 2012, at the same time I took stock of the various challenges awaiting me. Some challenges were more critical than others. Friends, the world is changing. Mauritius is changing. So is the way that people campaign for their rights, for sustainability. Our NGOs are changing too. To remain effective, MACOSS needs to adapt to that change. What was targeted 1 year back as community projects required reframing to be in line with new networking opportunities. I was also conscious of the limitations and the new realities that would emerge during the year. Therefore, my first objective was to review these issues together with the executive members of the Council so as to create new agenda of what should be accomplished. Rethink roles and relationships were mandatory to develop new sets of possibilities. We focused on coordinated multi-sectorial actions from all key actors and stakeholders, NGOs, government institutions, and private sector. Contributions were solicited from one and all to coordinate, cooperate, and collaborate. We hence stimulate a process whereby critical issues were addressed within a holistic framework. The NGO sector was empowered to get involved and access to services at all levels through various organizational networks. Emphasis was placed on building the advocacy momentum and capacity of service to promote efficiency. Today is the era of information technology and enhanced knowledge, which requires from key players to join hands together and develop joint initiatives, exchange of best practices, discussion and debate on innovative ideas, dissemination of pertinent information and knowledge about who is doing what and how to do it. Together with our partners, we came up with improved communications, technologies and techniques. We went beyond conventional methods by encouraging our NGOs to connect online to other regional and international NGOs as MACOSS shares a page on Facebook these days. They are exposed to a wide range of important and significant policy topics and hosted lively debates. By doing so, MACOSS aims to inspire people to be interested in online volunteering for peace and development. Practical relevant information is constantly posted online for the visibility our NGOs. Ladies and gentlemen, year 2012-2013 has been marked by major achievements to continue strengthening the role of MACOSS as a key actor in empowering NGOs and effectively addressing social developmental challenges. Be it the MACOSS HQ and the Civil Society Learning Center, the National Policy for NGOs and the new MACOSS Act. The MACOSS HQ and the Civil Society Learning Center in itself is a challenge, as this project does not stand alone. It forms part of a process of planning, outreach of potential and corporate donors. This process is grounded on the conviction that a partnership should develop between the MACOSS and the donors. We spend a great deal of our time seeking money and sponsorship. At MACOSS, we have the goodwill, ideas and capacity to empower the NGO sector, to maximize the expertise and experience through the Civil Society Learning Center. But we lack funds to implement them. The donors and the sponsors do have the financial resources. At MACOSS, we believe strongly that bringing the two together effectively, the result will be a dynamic collaboration. You will agree that it takes time and persistence to succeed. Today, I am glad to mention that in spite of these various difficulties, the MACOSS HQ has taken shape. The first stage of MACOSS HQ has already been completed, and hopefully we expect to shift there by the end of this year. I avail of this opportunity to thank the Ministry of Social Security for their support over the years and the South Africa Trust for their assistance. However, we have still high expectations from the government and the corporate sector to provide us with the necessary resources to complete the second phase. The Civil Society Learning Center, being an NQA-approved entity, will play a vital role in capacity development of NGOs and provide a new approach to social policy. MACOSS has addressed specific issues by soliciting reviews from many parts of the civil society and came up with the elaboration of the national NGO policy based on the innovative concept of social entrepreneurship. MACOSS, through its managing committee and members, has provided extensive input not only in the elaboration process but also in the implementation of the level of the national steering committee set up by the Ministry of Social Security. Mention should be made to propose amendment to the MACOSS Act, which is going to reshape the role of MACOSS much in line with the new social environment. The document has already been submitted to the government and same is expected to be enacted shortly. I also wish to reiterate the commitment of the Council as a facilitator for its members and a strategic partner for its stakeholders. As chairman, I have taken position on various issues: violence at school, child abuses, road accidents, gender-based violence, women empowerment, equality, inclusiveness, freedom of assembly and speech. During the year, in reporting, MACOSS, faithful to its vision and mission, has been continuously working on the following thematic: consolidation of our membership database, code of ethics and accountability at all levels, team leadership and conflict resolution, mentoring, evaluating community projects and end results, strengthening capacity building of newly affiliated NGOs, running of training workshops through the Civil Society Learning Center, agent of change through volunteering and social development, coordinating major civil society reflection on national and international agendas, consolidating our regional international networking building mission. The details are readily available in our 45th annual report distributed to you. We have also had the opportunity to coordinate on several national and global issues. The post-2015 agenda, the Small Island Development State preparation for the next SEED summit, and we have still other international projects in the pipeline and will be communicated to you as and when they take shape. Friends, I wish to highlight on the positive impact of MACOSS during the national disaster, the flash flood of March 2013. We left no stone unturned. Both the civil society, the NGOs, and the media worked hand in hand, night and day to support the victims. It was a tough experience for us all, but it was an excellent opportunity to put our leadership skills into practice. Allow me to express my gratitude and thanks to all those who mobilized resources to provide relief to all those affected by the disaster. In wake of this tragic event, MACOSS has set up an NGO Disaster Management Committee to respond to any future similar issues for better support of the victims. Distinguished guests, friends, I'm not standing as candidate for chairman in this election. I must confess that it has been an enriching experience and a real pleasure to serve as chairman of MACOSS for this year. I would like to thank all my collaborators who spared no effort in spearheading the council to new heights. My special thanks to the executive members who have been a constant source of encouragement. Together we have been doing a teamwork for the presence of MACOSS and its partners. Thanks to the staff of the Secretariat working in the back office. Finally, there will be no MACOSS at all if it is not for you, NGOs, who are continuously submitting forum contributions, providing space for others, and giving so generously of your time. I wish the incoming team great success and hope that the experience be positive for them as it has been for me. I look forward to the success of MACOSS for years to come. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Segulam. Thank you for your chairmanship during the past year. And we wish that you will be staying around with us for long again to share with us your experience. I would like to inform you that Mrs. Baku, our minister, has been taken up this afternoon and has presented her apology. He could not make it this afternoon. It's my pleasure now to invite the patron of MACOSS, His Excellency Mr. Kailash Pryor, also President of the Republic, to share his reflection on NGOs, civil society with us. So the floor is yours, Mr. the President.
Members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mrs. Manda Bulal, Chairperson of the NGO Trust Fund, the Chairman of the Mauritius Council of Social Service, MACOSS, the Deputy Chairperson, the Vice Chairperson of MACOSS, Executive members of MACOSS, distinguished members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to you all. It's my pleasure to be here this afternoon, and I wish to thank MACOSS for the invitation they have extended to me to address you on the occasion of the annual general meeting. I reserve my deepest respect and admiration for those who volunteer for service and dedicate their time for a noble cause. The heart of a volunteer can never be measured in terms of size, but by the depth of the commitment to make a difference in the lives of others. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, and I quote, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others," unquote. And volunteering, to my mind, is not a choice. It is a responsibility. However, it has to be done
without attachment, selflessly, and with excellence and perfection. It is only through the eyes of others do you see yourself. It is only through the work of your own do you find the difference in others. The courage and dedication of volunteers should therefore be an inspiration for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, our society needs to promote volunteerism as a valuable activity deeply rooted in the human spirit. Volunteering is not simply about doing something for others. It is about caring and sharing. It involves giving meaning and expression to the concerns and needs of people, as well as showing respect for them. I've always valued the work of volunteers and NGOs who genuinely dedicate their time, effort, and sometimes their money for the welfare of others. Because I believe that NGOs have a crucial contribution to make in the upliftment of the plight of those of the less fortunate citizens of our country. NGOs serve an indispensable function in our system of government and administration. There is consequently need to develop a synergy between government and the NGOs, as well as all those who are involved in educating the poor in order to help the latter move out of the poverty trap. NGOs should bear in mind that without willpower and dedication, no amount of financial support will be sufficient to accomplish their mission and for the fulfillment of their objectives. Since the introduction of the CSR funding, the number of NGOs in Mauritius have increased substantially. I'm informed at present there are some 327 NGOs duly registered with MACOSS. This obviously does not include many others that are not registered with MACOSS. They have also extended their activities to cover a broader spectrum of issues that include the promotion of human rights, environmental protection, poverty alleviation, to mention a few. But it is my view, NGOs should also be concerned with the subject of education and the responsibility of parenting in the education of their children, especially among the vulnerable families. They must see to it that children go to school and that there is a conducive family environment for them to study at home. Research has proved that if there is no a good family environment for children to study at home, these children can become a victim in their life. So it is our duty, because education is the key to get somebody out of the poverty trap. It has been proved in Mauritius, it has been proved elsewhere, and I think that NGOs must put a lot of emphasis in the education of those children who have been marginalized in our society. We must see to it. It is not only the duty of government, because government cannot replace the family. It is the duty of our NGOs who are voluntarily working to see that children who are not attending in schools, especially in those families where there is not that kind of dedication, to see that these children go to school, because education is solely education that will get them out of the poverty that they are in now. Government has also recognized the important role that many of these organizations are playing in the process of development. It is the duty of NGOs and their leadership to continuously work with the community to raise public awareness and understanding of the role that NGOs can play in the improvement of the plight and standards of living of our citizens. Such awareness and understanding is also vital for the long-term growth and development of the NGOs themselves and the effectiveness of their action vis-à-vis the community. At the same time, NGOs must continually strive to meet the highest standards of good governance by upholding transparency, accountability, sound management, and ethical behavior in the conduct of their responsibilities and obligations, and sound utilization of the scarce resource available to them. They should also remain committed to their objectives, greater transparency and accountability, will certainly help evolve a greater public trust and confidence in NGOs. The amount of funds they need in carrying out their objectives differ from one NGO to another, depending upon the nature of their activities and how well they are organized and structured. Most of them rely extensively on government grants and assistance from international institutions or CSR funds. Very often, the issue of funding gives rise to serious criticism, especially if an NGO has a relatively high overhead cost. In certain countries, NGOs are spending over 90% of their budget in staffing and administrative costs. This is unacceptable because it simply means that resources meant for the poor people are being utilized inefficiently. I hope that this is not the case in Mauritius. The World Association of NGOs suggests that ideally more than 80% of the NGO budget should be spent on programs and less than 20% on overhead. We will agree that a high percentage of our overhead should not be the objective of any voluntary social organization, otherwise it is not voluntary. Voluntary work is not meant for personal enhancement or self-aggrandizement. And as I say, volunteerism should be done selflessly without expectation of reward in return. While overhead costs can be a legitimate concern, it should be stressed that focusing solely on them can be counterproductive and reduce the capacity of NGOs to deliver services effectively. That's why I believe that our NGOs should constantly reinvent themselves so that they remain connected with today's reality. They should not become increasingly dependent on traditional funding, but explore other means of funding their activities. NGOs should be alive to the fact that the international economic environment is changing drastically, putting increasing pressure on national governments to revamp their programs and policies. What was relevant a decade ago may not be relevant today because of the fundamental changes taking place in our society. NGOs have to purpose face the new challenges if they want to remain effective in their objective of service delivery to the needy people of this country. And so NGOs should make sure that funds put at their disposal are used properly and for the purpose they are meant for. Here I should underline and emphasize, Mauritius is known for having properly used its resources vis-à-vis its development partners. And I hope and I wish that this tradition that we have in Mauritius is kept alive and keep our reputation. At the same time, MACOSS also needs to have a fresh look at its objective as well as the manner in which it has been discharging its responsibilities during these last 4 decades. I have read 2 press reports between yesterday and today that speak unfavorably of the state of affairs prevailing in MACOSS. I don't know how much truth is there in those reports, but they should act as an eye-opener for the future of MACOSS. The objective that MACOSS set itself at its inception in 1965 may have served its purpose. Is it still relevant in this 21st? Are these objectives still relevant in this 21st century? Or is it about time to re-engineer itself in order to better serve our needy people in this rapidly evolving environment? I'm glad I've just heard the Secretary General saying that a new amendment to the MACOSS Act has been prepared and it is going to be passed by the Legislative Assembly shortly, in order that MACOSS may adapt itself to the new changes that are taking place in our society in this 21st century. We have to create a meaningful vision and purpose and become more effective and result-oriented. That is more important, that if ever we are doing something, we must at the end of the tunnel see some light. What is the use of doing voluntary work when at the end of the day or at the end of the program there has been no change in the life of the people? so it has to be result-oriented. And this is important not only for MACOSS, but also for our NGOs. If it wants to continue to enjoy public trust and confidence, it will have to make the change now. Likewise, a proliferation of NGOs, very often with similar objectives and responsibilities, should be avoided because it leads to competition for funding. And here MACOSS, as the apex body, has a very crucial oversight role to play in terms of eliminating duplication of activities by NGOs where it is unnecessary. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand the new executive committee will be elected later during this day. Today, I'm told that this year, some 26 candidates have expressed the wish to serve on the executive committee of MACOSS. Also, 2 candidates are contesting the post of chairman of the council. I wish, therefore, to congratulate all the candidates for their eagerness and willingness to serve the council. With these words, I wish to thank MACOSS again for inviting me this afternoon. I wish you all well and good luck for the future. Thank you.